How to mirror your iPhone screen on a PC. This video shows how to mirror your iPhone screen on a Windows PC using the Reflector 3 mirroring program. This is the first video in a 2-video playlist. The second video shows how to record the mirror display using a screen recorder program. Please note, I recommend watching this video and my other iPhone videos from links on my webpage at URL tomstechnotes.com/iPhone. This video uses Reflector 3 version 3.2.0. First, start Reflector 3 on your Windows computer. I recommend you have it pinned to the taskbar. It's easier to use that way. Once you've started the app, swipe down on your iPhone screen to open the control window. If you're not mirroring, this box will show Start Mirroring, and you will tap it. Once you do, it shows this screen, and when you're not yet mirroring, this is not checked and this line is not here, but otherwise it's this screen. To start mirroring, when you aren't mirroring, you tap this line. Then it switches to this screen, which shows that mirroring is started. There's a check mark here, and there's a stop mirroring option on the screen. And of course, if you click that on your iPhone, that will stop mirroring. To restore your normal screen, just tap below, and then you can swipe up. Now, there are many options in this program, and both in Reflector 3 and on the mirror display, so let's go through those. This shows the name of the iPhone, and you can turn this display on and off by clicking the eye here. You can also show, if you have a webcam connected, you can click here to show the webcam. And once it is shown, you can change the size of the display by clicking here. That's the iPhone. This is the webcam, which is what we're looking at now. So if we click here, it makes the webcam display larger. And again, you can show or hide either display by clicking the eye beside its name. So let's make the webcam go away. Now for options, click the gear wheel. Now this is check for updates. This is about Reflector 3. These are the standard options. This opens the website page for Reflector 3, and then this stops Reflector 3. But let's look at the options we have under Preferences. General Preferences. Some of these are the defaults, some of these are my recommendations. I'm not sure which is which, but I'll just go over the settings I prefer. Leave this alone. Don't check anything that isn't checked here. On Show Client Name on Hover, that's what causes this line to appear when you hover over the iPhone. If you don't have that selected, that line will not show up. The options are always show that line, or never show that line, or show it when you hover. This is the most practical setting, and that's the one we're using now, show on hover. Always on top, that's the iPhone. If you have always on top checked and you drag another window over it, this will be on top. If you check it. If you don't check it, if you drag another window over it, it'll just cover it. The exception is the control window for the Reflector 3. It's always on top. Now, it's not necessary to have this always on top, because if it isn't always on top and you drag something under it, you just tap the edge to make this on top, just like you do with any other Windows. So you don't really need to check that option, and I recommend you don't. Now, anytime you change an option on the screen, go ahead and click Apply before you change screens. Because if you click OK, it'll apply it, but it'll also close this window, and you don't want to do that yet. So click Apply if you made a change here. Now, connections. I believe you'll find that the top one's already selected, and that's the recommended resolution. And that's your monitor resolution. So that will depend on your monitor what this line says. But that I do recommend you check the recommended one, and that's probably the default. Now the default scale, here are what the options are, and that's the size of the iPad display. Full screen, it acts kind of funny when it's on full screen. Default size, I don't even know what that does, but here's the setting I recommend, best for high DPI. That's a good useful setting. That gives you a size here, and it almost fills the screen, but not quite. AirPlay security, I don't turn on, and on connection, connect and show device, show frame automatically. That has to do with the edges around the display. It's on automatically now. If I select none and apply it, if I start and stop the display, it'll have a squarish appearance. So now the iPhone display, it has square corners and it doesn't show the buttons on the sides or anything like that. It doesn't look realistic. I recommend you always set it to automatically show the shape of the iPhone. And again, you have to stop and start mirroring for that to take effect, and then it takes effect. In general, if you make any changes to these, to setting up these preferences, I would recommend you close both the mirroring and Reflector 3 and restart just to make sure everything is going to work correctly. So let's get that screen to go away. Back to one of the normal screens. I have an open folder there, and let's go ahead and close that folder. Again, tapping on the screen on the mirror display has no effect. You have to tap on the iPhone itself. So now I closed it, and that's a normal iPhone display. Full screen background, solid color, desktop background. I don't use the full screen option, so I think if you do use a full screen option, maybe it'll make the edges that overlap a selected color here. But I would just suggest you leave it selected to the color of your desktop, and you just check desktop background. Now let's go to the recording options. We'll go over those in the second video where we talk about how to record the mirror display. Network, I don't make any changes to that page. And advanced, I don't know if these are the defaults or not. Normal. And then for AirPlay, I put enabled. Google and Mirrorcast, I disable them both because I'm not using them. I don't want the Reflector 3 to start when I start Windows, so I don't check this box. Use Classic Renderer. If you have some problem with the display as mirrored on the PC, try using the Classic Renderer. I don't have a problem, so I don't check that box, and I recommend you not either. Include control window in automatic layout. I'm not even sure what this does, but I don't check it. So that's all the setup options on the Reflector 3 window that I use. Now there are some options on the mirror display, and let's go through those real quickly. Click the settings gear wheel here. There's only one selection here. Whatever it is, the only option you can select is this one. So I have no idea what that does, and why bother, because you can't change it, okay? That's not the option that turns the frame on and off. We already saw that option in the options that we get to from clicking the gear wheel on the Reflector 3 window. Scale, again, I recommend you not use fill screen or default size, and that you use best for high DPI, which is what I'm using now. That just gives the best results, I think. Force rotation, automatic, means that if I'm on a normal iPhone screen, so I'll open a program. If you rotate the iPhone, the display rotates. And again, you have to be on probably an open app screen on the iPhone for that to work. Okay, some other options up here on this pop-up line. You can close mirroring by clicking this X. You can take a snapshot of the iPhone display by clicking here. You can start and stop recording here, but we will discuss that in the next video. once you're through mirroring, if you're going to resume mirroring, you can stop it by clicking this or by swiping down on the iPhone, tapping the button that says Tom Desktop, and then tapping Stop Mirroring. So that'll stop mirroring. Now, that's if you're going to restart mirroring, because if you stop mirroring that way, that leaves Reflector 3 running in your PC. So all you have to do is use your iPhone to restart mirroring. You don't have to do anything on the PC because Reflector 3 is still running. Now, if you're through mirroring for the day or for a while, you can stop everything instantly when you are mirroring by simply closing the Reflector 3 window. That will stop mirroring and stop Reflector 3 running in the PC. If you like this video, please like it and add a comment. If you subscribe and request email notifications, you'll be notified when videos are added to the channel. To visit my channel, click my name, Thomas Wallace, or my photo. Here's how to visit Tom's Tech Notes later. The address of the website is tomstechnotes.com, and to visit my channel, just search for TOMSTDA.